So back to temporary marriages, talking about atheists and scientists. Even though I may disagree with what you all believe in, but even you all too can go and follow this. You all too, because no matter what, even if you want to be disbelievers, you still are human beings. You guys still have feelings, emotions. You guys still have some, maybe somewhat morals. You guys still are a part of the society just as much as anybody else. Now, Bertrand Russell, which is one of the fathers of atheism, he said in his book, in Matrimony and Morals, I believe that's the name of it, he included in his book something about a trial marriage or a companionship marriage. If you look at it, this, which he also said, Muhammad's view, Muhammad's temporary marriage is a solution for the people in the society. But in his book, he included even a chapter about companionship marriage or trial marriage, which is the same thing as a temporary marriage. But in Islam, we don't call it a temporary marriage. Even in the Quran, it's not called a temporary marriage. It's called a contract, because it's a contract between you and somebody else under the eyes of God. Now, the problem with that is, which I can discuss later on at another time, the problem with that is people either do two things in religion. They either oversimplify things or they undersimplify things. Both of these are a problem instead of taking it for what it is. If you have your sources, if you have your narrators correct, if it goes along the guidelines of what it should be, then you should follow that. If not, everything else, throw it away. Like Imam Ali said, don't look at the truth, don't look at the personality and judge the truth. Look at the truth and then judge the personality. Find out what the truth is first, and then you go and you read, and based on what you read, then you go and you make your own conclusions. But besides that, they have scholars, they have people that have studied these things for years that they can help you easily understand it. So with the temporary marriage, anyone can do the temporary marriage. If you're a Muslim, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, he points it out in the Quran. Look, chapter 4, verse 24, it's temporary marriage for you. If you're a Christian, look in the Old Testament. If you're a Jew, look in the Old Testament. If you don't even believe in religion, atheist scientists, look in Bertrand Russell's book, Matrimony and Morals, I believe that's the name of the book. Matrimony and Morals. Look in this book. See it for yourself. Don't just take what I'm saying to be true. You don't know me. Nobody knows me. You guys maybe seen me a few times, talk to me, but that doesn't constitute knowing me. Take it. Go read it for yourself. Understand it and make us better as a community, as a society, as a whole. Make us better as a people. And I want to read you guys one story from this girl, which I found. It's called The Experience of a Female Revert. And it goes, I was a 19-year-old Christian female. Mind you, she's not even Muslim. I was a 19-year-old Christian female college student when I was invited to enter into a temporary marriage contract. The previous semester, a fellow had asked me for help on a calculus project in one of the computer labs, and I helped him as best as I could. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but a few months later, the same man passed me in the hallway and engaged me in conversation. Gradually, we became acquaintances. He asked me out to eat with him a few times and I cautiously accepted. At the time, I was a devout Christian who wasn't too comfortable with the dating scene. I had been reading some Christian literature which recommended that you should save romantic contact, even kissing, until marriage. I was leaning to the point of view that is what I wanted to do. And then along he came and my resolve was put to the test because it was obvious that we both liked each other. After meeting perhaps half a dozen times, he told me he had something important he needed to talk to me about. In the mall, we sat down and he began to explain to me that in his religion, dating was not permitted, and so he didn't want to continue with what he had been doing. Instead, he told me about muta, the temporary marriage. At first, I was taken aback by the word marriage from a man I'd only known so briefly. But as he explained what muta marriage was, I quickly realized that I preferred it to dating. In contracting a temporary marriage with me, this man was making a commitment to me for a specified period of time, and it was something permissible in his religion. I could not see any reason not to accept because I didn't want him to do something his religion didn't approve of, and secondly, because I could not find in it a single disadvantage for myself. It was definitely a step up from regular old dating and appealed to my Christian moral sense of commitment before God and the understanding of any male-female relationship. After our first contract expired, we renewed it a few more times before we finally got permanently married through nikah marriage. During that time, I learned more about Islam and converted to the religion, and I learned more about muta marriage. When I converted, I was faced with the task of studying temporary marriage more carefully because some Muslims were telling me it was not permissible. And there will be many Muslims, no matter where they come from, that they try to tell you, but they don't know themselves. But anyway, back to the story. Also, I had some difficulties with muta marriage because of it being so generally unacceptable in society. He didn't tell most of his friends about the marriage. If I happened to be at his apartment when his friends showed up unexpectedly, I had to go hide in the bathroom or closet until they left. I remember having to duck down in his car when we drove past someone. I did not like the feeling of being kept in secret. I wouldn't make anybody hide in my closet, by the way, especially the woman that I'm with right now. Definitely not. I met a few other convert ladies who had done or were doing muta marriage. They also experienced problems. One didn't realize that her husband was concurrently married to someone else and was promised an exorbitant mahar, dowry, that she never received. She was also kept in secret. All of these ladies, myself included, were looking for muta marriage to lead towards permanent nikah marriage. But sometimes the brothers weren't thinking the same thing. Obviously, some of these brothers did things that Islam doesn't support. But I think they were in part led by the way society looks down upon people who do muta marriage. Further, if any fellow has less than noble intentions in doing temporary marriage, he usually gets away with it because society doesn't support those who perform muta marriage lawfully and with good intention, but instead tries to keep all of it under the rug. This whole situation is ridiculous. Regardless of your personal opinion, I like when she said that, there is a wealth of evidence to support the permissibility of temporary marriage in Islam. Men and women who choose temporary marriage should be held up and supported for trying to make a lawful Islamic way for themselves rather than resorting to the kinds of mixing and fornication which is unanimously considered sinful by all Muslims. Careful use of temporary marriage can help to eradicate some of the social problems in the nation. If the situation were ever upon me, I would consider temporary marriage again, and I am an avid advocate for temporary marriage. A tongue twister right there. I believe that any problems that currently exist with the system are not a result of its practice of permissibility, but rather result from society's failure to properly support the good use of the institution. Senior Deb, revert, high school teacher in Colorado. Thank you, Deb. And so after going through all of this, part one, you guys can look at that. And part two, you guys go, don't wait to get married. Get married as soon as you can. And if you weren't able to get married, the temporary marriage is available. The contract is available. Don't abuse yourselves. Have mercy on yourselves while you're still young. Help yourselves out. Get with somebody. Grow with that person. Learn to love that person. Learn what true love is between the two of you. Not because of what somebody said or what somebody didn't say. And from there on, you guys let me know how everything goes. And I'll be expecting to hear from all of you. Thank you and have a great one. Talk to you later.